Hi, welcome to another video. I was playing around with some different techniques, you guys, and over the last weekend I went to a friend of mine's house to a weekend crop, and a friend of mine, her name's Deborah, she was messing around with a technique on a tag with utee, and another friend of mine, Ruby, was doing an ink blending technique on some chipboard. And I've been playing around with that same ink blending technique on some craft paper, and I thought I would show you guys what that looks like. And I also decided I was going to combine the utee and the ink technique and just see what happens. So what I've done is I've taken this, I've cut a tag from the Baroque, from the Tim Holtz Baroque, and then I stamped it with this rose image. You guys can see that. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Versamark ink, and I'm just going to use my Versamark ink. And you guys can see where I tried this and it was wet. So you want to make sure that this is dry. You know how sometimes the distress inks tend to stay wet for longer, so you guys want to make sure that this is really dry before you do this. And I'm just going to use my Versamark to get a good healthy dose of the Versamark ink all around this tag. I'm going to make sure that I've got it good and saturated. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some utee, put in the middle there, knock off the excess right there, put the excess away. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over my craft mat, and I'm just going to dry that utee, not dry it, emboss that utee around the center of that rose. Alright, now that I've got that, I'm just going to let that dry a minute. I'm going to bring my piece of paper back, well actually I'll just bring another piece of paper back around, and I'm going to slip my tag on top of that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another color of distress ink. This is brushed corduroy. Make sure I'm on camera for you guys. Okay. And then I'm just going to take this brushed corduroy. I'm going to take the edge of my ink dauber, and I'm just going to come onto this tag. And you guys can see that the utee is a natural resist for this ink. And I'm kind of going over this piece of paper before I put it actually on my paper so that I can gauge how much ink I've got on my ink blender. And see there, I almost made a mistake. If it's got too much ink, it'll leave that kind of a mark right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it'll leave a square. Can you guys see that? And that doesn't necessarily look good with this. Okay. Alright, and you guys, you can play around with it, get as much ink on there as you want, or as little. But that kind of gives you the idea. Doesn't that make a beautiful tag? Can you guys see that? Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. And then let me just do another one here for you guys. I've got this. Now this is just craft paper, okay? Can you guys see that stamp? And it goes, the stamp extends all the way to the bottom and around the sides too. But doing that blending technique is really, it's not going to matter. Because it won't go over, if you just lightly go over the edges of it like this, it won't erase the stamp. It just adds some technique, it just adds some depth to it. See, I'm going to go right where that butterfly is. And see, it doesn't erase the butterfly at all. It just kind of, and it doesn't erase the other either. It just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of makes it look like it's all in another frame. And this is just regular craft paper. Can you guys see that? How it just kind of makes her face stand out. And I'm going to do one more for you guys. I've got to make sure that she's really dry. Remember I told you guys that I did one tag and the Distress ink wasn't completely dry. And that did not work out at all. So I'm just going to kind of make sure that this is completely dry. And to do that, I'm just going to kind of take a white sheet of paper and turn her upside down and press her. See, she's not completely dry. So let's just give her another second. I apologize for this, y'all. But you're watching me as I play. So you get to kind of see what it looks like for me to just play. Alright, let's see if she's dry now. Okay, dry. So here again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Versamark ink pad and I'm just going to, on her, I'm just going to kind of press down and lift up because she really needs ink all over her. And I'm just going to kind of just look. I don't want to get ink all over the bottom of this because I want the ink to have somewhere to go. Okay, so here we go with just the Versamark everywhere, everywhere. Okay. Now, let's take and go ahead and lay her down here. Utee over the top. Just kind of make sure and I'm just cleaning off some of the edge. Of course, if there's Versamark there, that's going to kind of act as a resist too, but we'll just see what we get. Okay, there we go. Get rid of my excess. Let's go ahead and bring her down here and heat emboss. Heat emboss the utee until we kind of get it where we need it to go. There we go. Okay, and now we're going to take our Distress ink. And here again, we're just going to distress around the corners of this. Alright, here we go. Let's distress. This is so much fun. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna kind of go on here because I really want the dark around the edges of this. So I'm just gonna kind of go crazy with it. All around. Alright. Look at that. Wow, that turned out so cool. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is really, really cool. So, there's my 3 little tags, you guys. I hope you enjoyed them, and if you have any questions for me at all, please let me know. Just shoot me an email or leave me a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. In the meantime, there's my plan for the day. Until next time, bye now.